You are here. You are here. Breathing, heart beating, thoughts moving. But answer this honestly. Are you living or just going through the motions of someone who forgot how? Feel the weight of that question, because there's a difference, a vast, unbridgeable distance between merely existing and truly living. Most walk through life like shadows, going through motions without direction, working without purpose, breathing without vitality. They survive, they endure, but they do not live. What if everything you've been seeking, the energy, the clarity, the momentum to break through, has always been within you, waiting to be discovered? Today, we simply invite ourselves to turn inward and recognize the infinite potential that already is you. This contemplation offers a quiet space to understand how to dissolve the barriers between your current state and the purposeful life you were meant to live. Swami Chinmayananda, the great Vedantic master and teacher, spent his life showing people one profound truth. You are essentially perfect, not someday, not after years of discipline or achievement. Right now, the resources, the abilities, the power to build a supremely successful life already exist within you. But here's the paradox most never resolve. If this is true, why do so many suffer? Why do millions experience failure, disappointment, crushing defeat in the machinery of modern life? The answer isn't what you think. Every man exists. Few truly live. To live, you must have an ideal. Let that settle. The problem isn't lack of ideas. You have brilliant ideas. Everyone does. The real tragedy is that the instrument through which those ideas must flow, your mind, is unavailable to you. It's covered in dust. It's out of tune. Like a lamp obscured by layers of grime, your light exists but cannot shine through. Like a radio receiving only static because it hasn't been properly calibrated. You feel it, don't you? That exhaustion that has nothing to do with a physical effort. Modern life has eliminated most physical strain. Elevators, cars, countless conveniences. Yet you're more tired than ever. This is mental agitation. This is the fatigue of a life without direction, without an inspiring goal pulling you forward. You're expending enormous energy just managing thoughts, battling anxieties, suppressing fears, and underneath it all, a quiet desperation. Is this all there is? The ancient wisdom declares something radical. Your well-being depends primarily on you, not on circumstances, not on other people's validation, not on perfect conditions finally aligning. The world around you may be chaotic, but if you reorganize yourself within yourself, by yourself, you establish harmony with everything external. This isn't about self-help platitudes. This is about recognizing where your actual power lies. Imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. Scattered light creates gentle warmth, but concentrate those exact same rays to a single point, and paper ignites. Same sun, same light. The only difference, focus. Your mind, right now, scatters its energy across 1,000 surfaces, worries about the past, anxieties about the future, comparing yourself to others, pursuing goals you don't actually care about because society says you should, doing the minimum to get maximum results, which only breeds more emptiness. What if you could concentrate all that dispersed energy toward one luminous point, This is where the ideal enters. Not just any goal, but an ideal worthy of your life, something that inspires you beyond personal comfort, beyond survival, beyond merely existing. An ideal that calls forth resources you didn't know you had. When you discover this, everything changes. New reserves of energy emerge. Work becomes effortless because it's aligned with something larger than temporary satisfaction. The true meaning of life is to live for a purpose greater than yourself. Greater than yourself. Not in a way that diminishes you, but in a way that expands you beyond the narrow boundaries of ego and fear. Here's what happens in the absence of purpose. You drift. You start projects and abandon them. You feel enthusiasm one day and apathy the next. You make plans knowing you probably won't follow through. The history of the world is filled with battles, lost by those who gave up just before victory would have been theirs. How many times have you quit too early? How many times has impatience stolen what perseverance would have delivered? Failure rarely comes from lack of ability. It comes from lack of sustained, directed effort, from minds that cannot maintain steady application because they haven't found something worth the sacrifice. But when you find your ideal, when you genuinely connect with a purpose that stirs something deep within you, sacrifice doesn't feel like sacrifice anymore. Nothing is too great in service of what truly matters to you. The ideal itself provides inexhaustible strength. Let's try something together. Close your eyes for a moment, or soften your gaze. Breathe naturally. Ask yourself this question, and don't rush to answer. What would I dedicate my life to if I knew I couldn't fail? Breathe with that. Now ask, what activity makes you lose track of time? Where you're so absorbed that hours feel like minutes? Where effort feels effortless? The answer to your purpose lives somewhere between these two questions. One reveals what you aspire to. The other reveals where your energy naturally flows. True purpose is where they meet. Notice what arises. Notice also what your mind does. How quickly it might dismiss possibilities, generate doubts, remind you of past failures. That's okay. Just observe. The ideal doesn't need to be grand in scale. It needs to be true to you. It could be mastering a craft, creating something beautiful, serving a cause, embodying a quality like compassion or courage, pursuing understanding. The specifics matter less than the authenticity of your connection to it. Open your eyes. Before you move on, what's one thing you've been avoiding that deep down you know aligns with your purpose? Not someday, today. In modern life, we're taught to fragment ourselves. Be professional here, personal there. Pursue money in this sphere, meaning in another. Keep emotions separate from logic. The result? A life divided against itself, where nothing receives your full presence. What if your noble heart could shine through everything you do? Your work, your relationships, your smallest daily actions, all expressing the same integrated purpose. This isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. When your actions match your deepest values, when your daily life serves your highest aspiration, energy flows naturally because there's no internal conflict draining it away. Think about your current life. Where are you merely going through motions? Where have you resigned yourself to drudgery, bad-temperedness, unwilling responsibility? That's not living. that's existing with resentment, and it's a choice, perhaps unconscious, but still a choice. The Vedantic teaching Swami Chinmayananda offered isn't asking you to become someone else. It's inviting you to uncover who you already are, beneath the layers of conditioning, beneath the accumulated dust on your inner lamp. You don't need to acquire perfection. You need to discover it. This requires what the ancient texts call yoga, not just physical postures, but the spiritual tuning of your entire being. Like tuning a radio to receive a clear signal, you calibrate your personality so the latent faculties within you can manifest without inhibition. How? Through knowledge of your inner content, through understanding what drives you, what fears limit you, what authentic desires have been buried under others' expectations, through choosing consciously and repeatedly to align your energy with what genuinely matters. Discover your true ideal, and then fulfill your purpose. This is the secret to vitality. Find what's worth living for, then organize your entire existence around it. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect. Now, with what you have, where you are. What's one small action you could take today that aligns with your deeper purpose? Not a complete transformation, just one genuine step. Maybe it's spending 30 minutes on something you've been avoiding. Maybe it's having a conversation that matters. Maybe it's simply sitting in the silence to listen to what your inner wisdom has been trying to tell you. The world will continue its chaos. Competition will remain fierce. Circumstances won't magically align. But when you're connected to a purpose larger than comfort, when you're energized by a genuine ideal, obstacles become interesting rather than overwhelming. You discover perseverance you didn't know you possessed. You discover you can live, not just exist. Sit with this for a moment. Feel the possibility of it, not as distant fantasy, but as immediate potential. The faculties you need already reside within you. The power to reorganize yourself, to tune your instrument, to concentrate your scattered light into transformative focus. It's here now. Nothing external can give this to you. No influence from others, no perfect circumstance, no magical breakthrough from outside. This is the work only you can do for yourself, within yourself. But once begun, once you touch that sense of purpose and let it guide you, everything shifts. The enthusiasm generates itself. The energy flows naturally. Actions that once felt impossible become simply the next obvious step. What is your ideal? Not what should it be, but what genuinely calls to you right now, and what would it mean to truly live for it? Breathe with these questions. Let them work in you. The answers don't need to come all at once. Purpose reveals itself gradually to those who sincerely seek it. You're not broken. You're not lacking. You are simply, perhaps, out of tune. And the beautiful thing about instruments is they can be tuned. Today, tomorrow, every moment you choose it. This is your life. Not the shadow version, the existing but not living version. Your actual life, vibrant and purposeful, and fully yours. It begins when you decide it begins. Now. If this contemplation stirred something in you, take a moment in silence before moving on. Let the ideas settle, and perhaps return to this space whenever you need reminding. You have everything you need within you already. Consider sharing in the comments. What gives your life genuine meaning? What's one purpose that calls to you? Sometimes speaking it aloud helps it become real